it's Rebecca, and I wanted to give you an update on what's been going on with my channel and what you can expect to see from me soon. So the good news is that the new spring reread that I had been planning is now completely scripted. So all 4 episodes of that have been written and are ready to be filmed, which I'm starting to do. The bad news, obviously, is that I had initially planned before coronavirus hit the United States for the new spring reread to be something I would do a big push to script, film, edit, and get out all 4 of those videos at once so it could be a binge. Now, then the coronavirus happened, and I knew as soon as that got serious that that was going to change my plans. So since mid-March, I have been isolated at home with my family, which does include my 2 very young sons, 24/7, and knew that would impact my ability to have the time that I was used to having to spend on my channel. So I knew that it was going to change my schedule for this reread. What I was not anticipating was also that the whole situation would honestly be pretty depressing, and that would really cause me to lose motivation to try to squeeze in time to work on this whenever I could for a while. So that's why it's taken me longer to get to this point than I had even anticipated. But I did think it was important to continue to push to get all of it scripted before I really started filming, because once I start releasing these videos to you, I do want to be able to continue to release them regularly so that you'll have the 4 videos in a relatively tight period of time. Not as much as I would like, but that's the best that I can do as this isolation is continuing. My kids are still home. No daycare, at least for the next month, a little more than a month at least. So, but maybe in that time frame, we can get these new spring videos out. And then once I have more time, it's on to the Great Hunt. While I have you here, I also wanted to talk about some of the fun things I've been trying to do to stay involved with the Wheel of Time community during this time. So for anyone who's not familiar, if you don't happen to be on Twitter, Twitter of Time is a really great way to stay involved with the Wheel of Time community, and I do try and stay involved there as much as I can. Actually, this isn't all that recent, but since I hadn't really mentioned it here, I also have been helping with social media for Dragonmount. So I'm one of their social media contributors and have been doing that for a while. So if you're not familiar with Dragonmount, you should be. One of the oldest fan communities for the Wheel of Time, and they're doing great content on their YouTube channel as well. So on Twitter of Time, some things you might want to check out. I'm wearing my Weekly Wheel News shirt. You should definitely check out Weekly Wheel News if you haven't. They're hilarious issues every week. You can check them out on Twitter or Instagram. And let's see, I also have my Dusty Wheel mug, which I was fortunate to get as I've been a guest on the Dusty Wheel a few times. Most recently, I was there in April for during the weekend of Jordan Conline, which feels like a million years ago. But we did talk about what we think the first season of the Wheel of Time TV show is going to cover. Also, in my most recent video on this channel, if you haven't seen it, that's where I really go into all of the justification for why I think what will be covered and won't be covered in the first season. So check that out if you haven't. Finally, kind of a interesting debate that came up recently, which started when Daniel Henney, who is playing Lahn? Here's the question. So he did a Q&A on Instagram, and he talked about his character that he's playing for the Wheel of Time TV show, and he calls him Lahn. Not a big deal, really, except I think most fans are used to hearing the name pronounced Lahn, and that's the way a lot of fans have pronounced it. In the audiobooks, if you're familiar with those, Michael Kramer and Kate Redding pronounce it Lahn. So a lot of different perspectives came in on this debate, and so I wanted to just kind of touch on those, have a little bit of fun, see what you guys think. We have the official glossary in the back of the book with a pronunciation guide, but that's not super helpful. It's just capital L-A-N. And then we do have, from the perspective of Jason Denzel at Dragonmount, a statement that Robert Jordan himself made at some point when asked about this, where he said it does not rhyme with man, so not Lahn, not the way the audiobooks and the fans have typically been pronouncing it. Jason says it's closer to the word L-A-W-N. To me, I pronounce that lawn, which is a little bit strong, I think, and not quite what Daniel Henney said. If I had to estimate the way Daniel Henney said it, again, I would go with maybe L-A-H-N or L-O-N. So lots of different perspectives. And then we have Matt Hatch from The Dusty Wheel diving in as well, where he found a recording of Robert Jordan at some point pronouncing it, and he pronounced it Lahn. So there you have it. I feel like we don't really have a very clear answer. Going off of what Daniel Henney had said, we could guess that perhaps that's the direction the show is going to go. Lahn. And for me, I think that sounds nice, and I think that's something that I could get used to, though I'm certainly used to Lahn, being the way a lot of fans pronounce it and the way the audiobooks pronounce it. And frankly, the way the glossary lists it, I think that's the way I would interpret that. But we don't have a very clear answer here, and I would not be surprised if on the show there's not maybe one single pronunciation. We're going to have a lot of different cultures, a lot of different accents, and we could get kind of a Lando situation here, I think.
Come on, Ann, old buddy, don't let me down.
So I'm not really sure what to think. A part of me feels like, hey, if the show is going to be saying Lahn, it might be a little weird if I keep saying Lahn, even though it's going to be really hard for me to try and change. What do you guys think? Is it worth my time to try and change to Lahn, which I think sounds fine, but it's just a little hard for me, and I'm not sure that's going to be an official pronunciation, or just go with the way that we're all kind of used to it until we know better. Anyway, love to hear your thoughts on this fun little situation I'm calling Lawngate. I think that about does it for now, and I hope to be getting my first new spring video to you very soon. So if you're not already a subscriber, please do subscribe, check out my other videos, and stay tuned for more very soon.